Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I was due in Nashville, Tennessee. You'll remember in our last episode, we laid out a general floor plan, or at least the beginning of one, for our library. Now, I want this library to have multiple floors. What I was thinking is like the general subjects and fiction, nonfiction, etc. on the primary floor. Upstairs, administrative offices, and that would be a much smaller floor because we'd have a swept roof, similar to our farmhouse, but not quite. And then at the bottom floor would be the children's library. And I haven't figured out what makes the difference between a children's library and a non-children's library in Minecraft, because, in real life, the main difference is the books. So I might have to think of some funny books to put down there. Now, for right now, I've kind of left this intact for the time being, but I'm realizing that I'm going to need to enter through here. So we're just going to open this door. And so you can currently enter through bookmobile to get into the work-in-progress place. We'll have a proper foyer built in the footprint of the bookmobile before we actually get started. But on the whole, I kind of like that people can't really see what it's going to look like until it's done. Now, this is also nice because False is going to have to come over here and destroy her secret Santa elf eventually. And, my beautiful library, work-in-progress, will be in the episode. One thing I am not thrilled about is how the library directly abuts this path. And so I'd planned on putting a back entrance to the library over here, so I'm going to find a way to incorporate this. I'll have to rip out the glass to get it to actually work. But anyway, I think that it'll come together as it does.
Who's the guy who can conquer death? That's Joe Hills. He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe.
So let's see, I went ahead and I was just thinking I need to fly back to the library from my house before I can continue this video. But then I realized that I might have accidentally logged off inside the library. Now, I did some work here overnight. Normally, I kind of try to do a little bit of material gathering and whatnot between episodes. But you know what? Or in the middle of episodes overnight. I kind of got some good momentum. I was like, I'll just lay the foundation down so I'll remember where to put the windows when I get started tomorrow. Then I was like, I got to remember where to put this, I got to remember where to put that. So I haven't actually really decorated anything or connected the stuff to the paths yet. But I do have the fundamentals of the library in place. Now, this is actually based on a real building very loosely. It's not a replica. Well, in some ways, it's kind of a replica in the same way the Shears Tower is a replica. It's close or similar to the original, but not it's not exactly. The interior is all off, for one thing. But in the original library, the adult nonfiction kind of started here and continued around here and then continued back here. And all of these windows were part of the original building, which was the house of the person it was named after, Mary Meuser. And what happened was, so all these windows got covered up by bookshelves. And so for my interpretation of the building, I decided to go ahead and to free up some of that space. I still want to have bookshelves in here. Unfortunately, I'm kind of low on books at the moment, so I got to do that. Oh, this ladder is actually now surplus to requirements, as they would say in the UK. So let's go ahead and chop that down. Bye-bye, ladder. And, 'cause we got our decent stairs here. So, and then in the original building, the upstairs was administrative offices, and the downstairs was the children's library. And that was good because, you put kids down in the basement and then they can yell and do story time and stuff, and it won't disrupt the patrons of the upstairs part. So, this was the area that they'd do the story time in. Then they had books through here and books through here, that sort of thing. And so that was kind of what I'm loosely interpreting it as. I still need to go get more books. I do need to also build, they've got this front porch thing on the original building that was going to come through here. And so that's going to require actually breaking down the bookmobile. Although I suppose I could just pull it up a few yards, drive it over here and turn it. But I feel like it might be better to have the actual library show up. So let's go ahead and I'm going to have to clear my inventory to make room for the bookmobile. So let's go ahead and clear my inventory, and then we'll take a hatch to this thing and start building this entrance here. Time skip. Temporary bookmobile established by Joe Hills, episode 49. More like disestablished by my fist, episode 135. I don't know. Anyway, I've got silk touch on both my pickaxe and my shovel, which should make chewing through this pretty short work. Now, I don't have I don't have a hand axe with silk touch on it. So in order to retrieve those books, I'm going to have to hit them with the shovel really hard. And hopefully that'll be a sufficient mechanism to retrieve them. Now, this bookmobile here will be, of course, replaced with the foyer or the weather porch or whatever you would call it. This library is actually built in a cold climate, and so there's kind of a sun-heated porch out here. That would just be like a little greenhouse in the real one. It just basically serves as a intermediate stage between being out of doors and being indoors, which is excellent for the, heat and ventilation and air conditioning. Yes, all three of those. So we're just breaking windows like we are the rocks cast away by Tom Hanks. Retrieving blocks. How's my inventory? Wow, I'm not even close to full. Great. You can just kind of come over here. Bumper to bumper, the avenue's packed. Goodbye, license plate. We knew you well. Not like, by heart. Like, presumably you said something like books or something. But we knew you well. Just not by heart. Okay, so last things we need to retrieve from our bookmobile is this stack of books, which mostly filled our inventory, as well as this beautiful enchanting table. Now what I'm figuring is we'll put the enchanting table like right here or so. Now some people might say, Joe, you need more light in this area, and that is probably true. I don't know how much light I actually need. It might be wise, though, to wrap some of this somehow. Like, let's put some lights in the floor back here for right now. Ooh, that's going to cut into the roof. Well, we'll figure that out later. Now, if we actually want to put something in here... Oh, dang it, I can't figure out how enchantable it is. Hey, it does go up to 30. Great. I was a little worried it wouldn't go all the way up to 30 until we put all the books in, but... that's easier that way. And what I'm thinking we might even do, let's verify that that definitely goes up to 30. This might be a good place right here for a, what do you think, this thing. Ender chest. Boom. So we'll put the ender chest right there. Got our bookshelves here. I was kind of thinking about having some of those trap chests along here, maybe. Not sure how to make those, but so that way you could store books in them, along with some sort of signage about their contents. Not sure exactly. As well as additional bookshelf chest combinations that would allow us to store things kind of in racks or something over here. Now, let's go ahead and get to work on this front porch, though, for right now. Ooh, actually, you know what? I was thinking about it, and I remember in the library that this is based on, there was a copy machine right here. And so we should go ahead and build an anvil, because that's kind of like a copy machine. Ooh, that's not the angle I would have placed it at. I mean, I did place it at. Yeah, there we go. And this was like a computer nook, and this chest is kind of like a computer in that you can look at wires on it or signs. I don't know, something. I'll have to figure that out too. But on the whole, yeah, this is better than it was. Now, I'm going to need some sandstone, though, for this glass chamber here. Because it's going to come down kind of like this. And we're going to need the stonework for the stairs here. We'll have to get some sort of actual glass doors, although they don't actually make glass doors in Minecraft, so I'm thinking whatever is the best glass substitute will be what we end up going with. Now, let's see, the original also has the roof extend out across here, except it flattens, because it's such a small area, it doesn't really need to have much of a slant to it. So we'll get this in place like so. Okay. And then that should extend out actually about this far. Whoops. Hit that with the shovel. May need more. This may be a bit more painful than I had imagined. I'm beginning to wonder if these doors will actually sync up with that. No, they won't. So, unfortunately, I think that means I'm going to have to do some awkward work here to make the outer corners of this blocks or something. I don't know if I like this, but like kind of something like that. Maybe the whole thing should just be glass blocks, but that's like a separate problem. Dang it. I can't even see where I'm placing these. Okay. Okay, there's a pane there. That's what's holding me up. I'm also realizing that the original foyer or whatever, I built it to the ground level down here, which was the actual, like, where this was cut out to. But this does not necessarily reflect the ground level of this, because this is elevated higher up even. Maybe I put some stairs down here or something, then have them connect up. I don't know. This is going to be a little bit of a problem, I'm thinking. Okay, well, let's say that I just take out all of these panes and substitute them with blocks for right now. I don't love it. It's going to make this feel a lot more claustrophobic and a lot less like a front porch, honestly, and more like a glass cage of emotion. Dang it. Not how I wanted that to go. Let's get these out of our offhand, because that can only go poorly. So the one thing I do like about the glass element here is it reminds me a lot of how my entrances of my first houses worked in Minecraft. As soon as I got glass, I ended up building these elaborate airlocks to avoid ending up in situations where creepers could surprise me. So that element of it I like. Let's see. Go ahead and maybe I should put the second set of doors in here, just like in the real place. I'll leave those open for right now. But I might want to... Well, in the real place, they had glass above the real doors here, too. Yep. So let's try coming out here. So it's a little strange, but it kind of works. Coming around to look at this back entrance, this isn't much better here. Like, we're going to have to just rip this out entirely. Dang it. Of course, now I'm picking up the wrong blocks. Okay. So, this back entrance was where the handicap ramp was, because that main entrance was not, like, ADA compliant. For those of you who live outside the United States, that's the Americans with Disabilities Act. And so, in order to get up here, you would have, like, a wooden ramp. And that would look a little something like... Well, of course, I put all my wooden ramp pieces away. But, like, toot. And now I'm a Elytron. Dang it. Construction's hard. Dang it. Okay, well, that was an unsuitable way for that to go. Where did it even come from? Is there like a nest or something down here? I'm just sitting here looking at my door and my walls, or what were my door and walls. Dang it. This is not a good neighborhood, it seems. Let's hope there's no more of those around while I frantically try to reassemble. Dang it. Okay. Everybody cool down. Stay cool. Okay, so this one's gonna go here. Our door will go here. And that'll go like so. Let's see here. And of course, now we've lost whatever blocks went here. Great. And whatever was here. I'm gonna guess those. Although I do have an extra chiseled quartz I didn't have before, so I'm wondering if maybe that's that. Okay, we'll go ahead and come alongside here and just kind of get rid of that stairwell down, because that looks a little awkward. As well as this one here. Great. Okay, yeah, so that kind of works. I'm wondering if I should restore this glass here. Maybe that's how the creeper snuck up on me. Although, it's like the middle of the day. So he must have spawned somewhere dark just now and wandered over to me. Like, that's not good. Where could he have spawned? Did he spawn inside the library? No, because the doors were all closed. So it's not like he was dark inside the library. That's all well lit. Well, I'm none too pleased about that, I'll tell you. Definitely came from this way, though. You know, I feel like there's really no limit to the improvements that could be made here. I've gone ahead and put these lights up here, gotten rid of that glowstone, put this chest up here, and I'm trying to figure out the best layout for, like, the circulation desk, which would be something like along here, maybe. Like, that feels like a good circulation desk. I also have to figure out how I want to actually light the place. Like, I've just been putting torches up like this, but I'm not sure if that's really as viable as I think it should be. Dang it, why am I getting these weird lag spikes? So maybe just like table lamps would be... No, that looks weird. I don't know. So, definitely putting some sort of torch or glowstone back over here would be helpful. Just so that stuff doesn't get out of craziness. Don't need any zombie librarians yet. Although, it is funny, maybe I could get a librarian villager in here through derp. I don't know if I could get them to deliver a non-dangerous, like, creature, but, like, that would be helpful if they did. So, yeah, we'd have to trap them, like, in a minecart or something somehow. Yes, we could have a librarian up here, and maybe a children's librarian downstairs. Downstairs has more room because it goes all the way out into the porch here. That might be a better place for the main collection of books. So maybe we put like story books up here, and then we put enchantment books in the basement, or enchantment books down in the basement and story books up here. I don't know. I am open to suggestions about pretty much every part of this project. So, anyway, let's go ahead and check it out from the distance here. That's why we have ender pearls. Oh, you know what? I should get rid of these, like, marking torches. Although I don't want this to get so dark over here stuff spawns. Now that I think about it, dang it. Poor planning on my part. But we don't need these measuring sticks everywhere. There we go. That should be just enough to keep the mobs away. Dang it. Elytra! Let's climb up somewhere good. Like that roof. Or over it. Beyond it, even. Okay, let's climb up... Whoa, are we in a graveyard? Yeah, this is a horse cemetery. That's not where we want to be. Okay, so, coming from this angle, though. Over by the Christmas tree that kills people if they fall into the ground below it. This looks like a pretty reasonable library. These trees kind of obscure the view of it, which I think was the goal when it was just the bookmobile. But, that's okay. We'll need to put in some stairs down here. But on the whole, yeah, this is definitely not my worst work ever. Let's get up on top of the courthouse, or beyond the courthouse. Hey, we made it. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to light the roof, too. And maybe some other windows on this side. Like, I'm just looking at that, and that is a little dire right there. That does not look... Like, the other sides of the library have a lot more going on with them, and this is just way too flat for my tastes. We gotta punch that up a little bit. I mean, not that any building is, like, super exciting when viewed directly from the side, but... That's definitely the least enticing side of the library. So, adding some more... oh, it looks like that roof needs work, too. Well, from down here, it's not quite as noticeably bad. I mean, I say that. This is a pretty dull wall. I'm supposed to be signing off, and instead I'm obsessing over this one wall. But maybe if we go ahead, and it's hard to put in stuff right there. Oh, that's why, because we have the stairwell. So maybe what we do is another one of these windows, maybe like this. Kind of, as you come down the stairs, it kind of opens up a little bit. Another option that we have available to us is in the real library. They've got like some windows like into the sides here for the basement. So having a few of those punched in there might give us a little bit more expressiveness on this side of the library. So let's run back out, one more look. Get a sense of if that's any improvement. I really need to, I'm going to open this up to comments from you guys, and I need to coordinate with, like, Good Times with Scar or somebody who's really good at, like, building stuff to try to, like, meet and discuss internal design, because my interior design is not the strongest. Okay, well, that's a little bit better. It is not quite as uniform. Having another 4 window there would work, but we've got that window there. That I think... If you're just walking along the street, you can see into the building some too, so it's not as bad as when you're up there and you're just looking at the side. So, okay, cool. We will call this a stopping point. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.